Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I am going to show you how to make bread on the stove top two ways. If you like soft bread, fluffy bread, this is the bread for you. And when you give this recipe a try, you will not be disappointed. It's so soft. So let me show you how to make it. These are the ingredients. I'm gonna leave the list in the description box. I will start by sifting 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt, a packet of instant yeast. Always check the expiration date, and this is the measurement. It is 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. So I'm adding sugar. For the liquid, I'm gonna be using 1 1/4 cup of warm milk and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients together before I add the wet ingredients. I like to add the wet ingredients gradually. When you do this, it's gonna help the dry ingredients soak up the wet ingredients nicely. If you dump it at once, sometimes you discover that this liquid is not enough. No, it's because you dumped everything at the same time. So it's very good to add it gradually. At this moment, I'm gonna go in with my hand to start kneading. I'll mix everything together because I'm gonna add the butter. I'm using soft butter. Room temperature butter is very soft, so I'm gonna add it in. Then knead it for about 10 minutes. See, everything is well combined. So I just added the butter. Don't worry, I'm gonna leave the measurement and everything in the description box. I'm gonna knead the butter in. At first it looks very oily, but don't worry, it's gonna incorporate with the dough. So let me use this time to welcome all those that are visiting for the first time. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel. Click the like button. Please turn on the notification bell. That is the only time you can get an alert whenever I post a new video. Thank you. In order to knead the dough properly, I've transferred it to a work surface, so I'm gonna knead it for 8 to 10 minutes. At first it's very soft because of the butter, but with time it's gonna incorporate nicely, and you won't even notice the butter. It's not gonna be oily anymore. The importance of kneading a dough is to create gluten. Gluten is that thing that makes the bread have that stretchy look. It doesn't fall apart. It has this stretchy bready look. It is gluten that does that. If the bread doesn't have that, it is gonna crumble easily. So that's why gluten is important. There are so many ways to knead a dough. As long as you're working on it, moving it, you can create gluten. You don't have to do it in a particular way. You can see I'm doing it different ways. Let me use this opportunity to appreciate all those that have subscribed. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. I appreciate you and I love you. God bless you. As you can see, the dough is looking smoother. Gluten has been created. So when I'm done, I'm gonna put it in a warm place to rise for 60 minutes to 90 minutes. If you live in a very humid place, you just cover it and leave it in the kitchen. It's gonna rise. The heat is gonna make it rise. So I'm gonna transfer it into a bowl, cover it with a plastic wrap and with a clean towel, and put it in a very warm place for 60 minutes. The first method I'm gonna show is the steaming method. So I'm gonna use some water and a rack to steam it. Make sure you have enough water in the pot. And for the baking pan, I'm gonna oil it and set it aside. So this is 60 minutes later. I'm gonna deflate it. I just want one circle, so I'm not gonna roll it on the board. I'm just gonna form it into a circular shape and put it in the baking pan and let it rise for another 30 minutes. Please, if you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Just click that red button. Thank you. Whenever I transfer the dough into the pan, I try to flatten it so that it will rise uniformly from all angles. I'm going to still cover it with a plastic wrap and with a napkin and put it in a warm place to let it rise for another 30 minutes. So while the dough is resting, I'm gonna start heating the water to steam it. Don't forget to turn on your stove to medium heat. The water is already boiling and it is time to bring out the dough. So I'm gonna leave the dough covered. I'm not gonna take off the plastic wrap. I'm gonna put it in like that, because if you take off the plastic wrap, water is gonna get in. So it is still wrapped with the plastic wrap. I'm gonna let it steam for 1 hour. The bread is usually ready after 30 minutes, but it's gonna be white, so you have to leave it longer if you want to have this darker color. So this is 1 hour later. See, it is done, it is ready. See, after 1 hour we still have enough leftover water. So I'm gonna remove the plastic wrap and let it cool on the rack. After about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm gonna take it out of the pan and let it cool on the rack. There are some bread lovers out there who would love to make their own bread, but they're always giving excuses that I don't have an oven, I don't know how to make it. This is how you make it. Very easy. You're gonna enjoy it. You're not gonna be worried that you're gonna eat the leftover thing that something else have already eaten, and you're saying, oh my god, I cannot wash the bread. So this is how you make your own bread though. This bread is delicious. It is very soft. You won't believe it. See, very soft. It lasts a long time and you have peace of mind. Let me show you how it looks. See the inside. See, very soft, very pillowy. You're gonna love it. I promise, you will not be disappointed. So no more excuse that I don't have an oven or something. This is how you can make your bread at home for your family. See how soft and fluffy it is. I'm gonna show you the other method. It's also on the stove top. Already mixed it. It has risen for 90 minutes. I'm gonna deflate it. The recipe is a little bit different. I'm gonna leave the recipe in the description box. You are using less fluid, but it's still the same recipe, because if the dough rises too much, the bread is gonna collapse. So after many trials, I discovered that it is better that it doesn't rise too much, because if it rises too much, it is gonna collapse. So I used less fluid for this. I'm gonna leave everything in the description box. So I am technically repeating the same thing I did with the first bread. I have already proofed it for 60 minutes. So I'm gonna proof it for another 30 minutes. The only difference is less fluid and I'm using dry heat. I am using salt. You can use pebbles, rocks, sand, whatever you prefer. So this is 30 minutes later. The pot has been heating up for a while on a medium heat and it is ready. I'm using this pot because this is what I use to bake things on the stove top. So that's why I'm using this, and I'm using a deeper pot to cover it, but you can do the reverse if you don't mind using any pots you want to use. I could have used the lid of the pot, but because it is sticking out of the pot, that's why I'm using a deeper one. So you can just use a pot and a lid, that is fine. So I'm gonna let it bake for 30 minutes, then I'll turn off the heat. Then I'll let it sit for another 30 minutes before I open it. See, your bread is ready. So it baked for 30 minutes, but I covered it for additional 30 minutes. That makes it 1 hour. These are the two types of bread, two methods on the stove top. You do not need an oven to make the bread. They are equally soft, very fluffy, pillowy. Give it a try. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I know you're gonna have so many questions. I'm gonna be available. Leave your questions in the comment section and I'm gonna answer every one of your questions. So let's see what we did. This is the one with dry heat. See, let's open it and see. Very soft. It is still very hot. See, very fluffy, soft, very delicious, and it's gonna be soft for days. See, very pillowy, soft. So this is like the next day. Let me show you how soft it is. See, still very soft. The next day, you will think I made it just today. Very soft. So if you are still watching the video and you are yet to subscribe, please click the subscribe button. Like it if you enjoyed it or you learned one or two things. See, softness overload. So let's go back to the steamed bread. This is like 4 days later. This is the 4th day. See how soft it is. See, very soft and fluffy and very delicious. It is a miracle it lasted this long. So give one of these methods a try and you will not be disappointed. So thank you guys for watching. Till I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.